Now, very happy to say we're joined by Kellie Harrington because she's been announced as Sports Ambassador for Dublin City Council alongside Ellen Keane, of course, Paralympic gold medalist. And the partnership sees Dublin City Council in effect teaming up with Kellie and with Ellen in a bid to promote the benefits of sport, physical activity in Dublin. There is lots of information about Dublin City Council's sport and recreation programmes, services, facilities, all you need to know if you go to dublincity.ie/residential/sports and leisure. I'll give you that email address again before we go. Kellie Harrington, how you doing? Great to have you on.
All good, all good. Hope you're keeping well yourself.
Yeah, very well. So, I don't know, what do you prefer these days? 2020 Olympic champion, world champion, European champion, Freedom of the City, June 11th, I see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that actually. So yeah, that's an amazing honour, for it's only a handful of girls who have already got women who have already got it. So to be one of the next batches, just amazing, Being a tree up as well. So
well, listen, my first memory of that was Bono turning up with a sheep. So I don't know, around Fairview, have you got any sheep that you're gonna let graze?
We've actually, my dad's been telling people like that I've got sponsored 6 sheep off a farmer, and I'm doing a competition on Facebook to name the 6 sheep. So like that's what he's telling people.
So a couple of months ago, I was thinking, oh, World Championships on the way. We'll get to see how Kellie's going. Injury in camp.
Yeah, I just had a little niggle and I'm over it now. I'll be back hopefully sparring at the start of July, and just do you know what, I've enjoyed a little bit of a break as well there, so back at it now, back at it, and hopefully get ready for the Europeans coming up now in October. I think they're in October. We don't know where or what. You know yourself the way everything is at the moment, but look.
Best of luck getting a flight by then.
I might start queuing outside Dublin Airport now.
So how do you frame this part of your career? Do you have like 2024 potentially I'll be retired, so this is like a sprint finish, everything I can do I'm going to do it, or have you set a deadline, or how are you framing this post-Olympic win period for you?
Like coming back after Tokyo, it was kind of, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I just knew I wasn't going to go professional. And then I decided, right, as I'd sat down with Bernard, with Zor, with John, with my own club coach Noel, and we had decided, right, we'll give it another lash and see how we go for Paris. But I'm not getting any younger, neither does anybody else. But I got to watch what I'm doing now. I'm 32. I'll be 34 when Paris comes around. So I've got to be careful with what I'm doing and not overtraining as well, smart training, and picking and choosing the tournaments that I go to, and well, not me picking them personally, but the coaches, doing plans and so on. So it's kind of working that way. And then next year is the qualifier. So next year is the big year. I'm not even really looking at Paris at the moment. I'm just looking at qualifying, because I don't really know how the qualifiers are working, or we're very unsure of all of that. But I just know that next year I need to be on it. Like, I need to be switched on, and I need to be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. And Kellie, physically, does 32 going into 33, do you notice that difference to how you felt at 28, 27?
Do you know what? Like, I honestly feel like strange. Like, I know it sounds strange, like, but I do feel like I am getting better. Like, well, not like Jesus, like I'm getting better every day, but I don't feel like I'm getting any worse, is what I should say. So like, yeah, like I feel good. I feel mature. I feel like I have a lot of experience. And I mean, sometimes experience can outdo the new fish in the pond, really, So we'll see. Like, well, boxing's boxing, so everyone on the day, and like there's new people coming out of cracks of the walls all the time. So that's why people love it so much, isn't it? Because there's always people in and out, and then bang, someone takes something for surprise, and you're like, Jesus Christ, didn't see that coming.
I guess everybody would have seen what Lisa O'Rourke and Amy Broadhurst did at the World Championships. Amazing. They joined this elite list, and it continues to put Irish boxing on the map. Yourself and Amy Broadhurst, are ye vying for the same weight class at the next games? Because like Olympic qualification is a complete mystery to me. I just wait until I
Yeah.
get the thumbs up that someone's in. So how does that work, for instance?
I'll be honest with you, right? I'd be going for the same weight that I've gone for, 60. I won't be going for 66 because
Yeah.
there's a 66 class there now as well,
Yeah, and a 57.
and a 57 and a 75 and a 50, I don't know, 52
Yeah.
maybe, or something, or 51, something like that. But I'll be on for 60. I don't know what Amy is doing, you know, I have no idea what she's doing. Like, that's her, that's up to her really what she's doing. But I know I'm doing 60, and that's what I'll be getting ready for. I'll be preparing for that, you know, and whatever happens, happens really, like, you know, but I'll be ready. I'll be doing what I do best, staying calm, controlled, and getting ready to rock and roll.
You mentioned Bernard Dunne. What a complete mess.
It's a complete mess, but you know what? Like, we just need someone in there to take up that role. Like, I've had the great pleasure of working with Bernard over the last number of years. He's set up a great team, discipline amongst the whole team as well, you know. And he is missed, but got to get over it now and realize that we're going to have to move on, and hopefully they sort it out and they get someone in his position, and everything else gets ironed out sooner rather than later, and we can continue on for the cycle that's next year for the Olympics, and the boxers don't suffer because of all this, you know.
It's amazing the boxing remains so successful in spite of all of these issues, going back to Billy Walsh's departure. I didn't read this SWOT analysis. I haven't seen it. I saw Jack Chambers describe it as disgraceful. Bernard Dunne obviously thought it was bad enough to resign effectively on principle. Like, from the outside, I'm scratching my head thinking, how can something like this happen again?
Yeah, I personally don't even know. Like, I haven't seen it. I didn't even know anyone could see it, to be honest with you. So I've no idea what is going on there. But all I know is, and all that I can vouch for, is that Bernard Dunne is a good man. What he has done hasn't been hasn't been an easy task, coming off the back of Rio, then into a new cycle, and we're trying to throw in a global pandemic in there on top of that, and then to come away with a gold and a bronze medal from an Olympic Games is fantastic, you know. And like, he done what he needed to do.
And so disruption again, and with qualifiers looming, it's very difficult. Do you have much like exposure to the workings of the IABA? Do you have a feel for how they go about their business and the board? Do you have faith in them, or is it very removed from your day-to-day life?
It's very much removed from my day-to-day life. It's the last thing I think about. Actually, it's not the last thing. I just don't think about it. Full stop. You know. All I know is that we are missing a high performance manager, director in our setup, and that's it really. You know. But it's the furthest thing away from my mind. I don't let them. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. You know.
So who do you work with? Who do you train with day to day most often, Kelly?
So I have my club coach, Noel Burke. I'd be training with him a lot, and then I'd be training with the team as well, with Thor and John and all the other coaches who are out there as well. You know, that's who I'd be training with day to day. But I do a lot of training now with my club. I'm back in my club tonight, and that's the start of my boxing back on track then from tonight. You know, back out there. Noel's on holidays actually, but he'll be back during the week, so I'll be out there with the other coaches in the club.
You said there you never gave professionalism too much thought. What was it about professionalism that you didn't like the look of?
I suppose, like, the fact that I would probably have having to move away from home to take up a career, you know, that just would not work in my world, you know. That would make me really, really unhappy. And like, is that worth it? Like, is it worth being unhappy to go away? Look, let's call a spade a spade. Professional boxing is for money, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. It's a profession. Like, it's money. It's a business. And would I like to leave to move country for a job, no. So would I like to do it for to get hit in the face with 8-ounce gloves? Absolutely not. So like, no, I wouldn't. It wouldn't. It just wasn't something that gelled with me. Like I'm a homebird, and I get homesick after 3 weeks. Like,
So, like the Katie Taylor experience off in Connecticut, monastic, probably a lonely enough life, suits her and works for her. That's almost your worst nightmare. You need the hub of your world around you. Even like it must cross your mind
that's
when
not
you.
even. It's not.
Yeah, go on.
I don't need to be surrounded by people all the time, but I need to be in my own home. I need to have my dogs. I need to have Mandy, and I need to be able, if I want to leave my house and go somewhere, to go there, you know, and come back.
And
And
you can't say to Mandy and your dogs. Well, I don't know how much say your dog's getting it. We're moving abroad for a couple of years.
yeah, I wouldn't do that. Like, and like, I also like to be able to just get in the car and drive into my mum and dad, you know, like, God love them. Like, I have them pestered, like, you know, they're probably like, you go professional, it'll be the best thing for you, like, just to get rid of me, like, you know.
We think it's a great idea. Great idea. Away you go. Because I guess the temptation would be, not least when you see what Katie Taylor did recently at Madison Square Garden. Like, we're saying money, but then it's like, geez, this could be life changing money. This could be, you know, set me up for the next 30, 40 years money. That doesn't cross your mind in the way a more money oriented person
Because
might look at
I
it.
don't know, because I'm not ruled by money. Do you know what I mean? I don't think like that. Like set up for what? Do you understand? Like, set up for what? To sit on your arse all day and just,
Exactly that. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's not me as a person. I have my little job. I have my cleaning job in the hospital. I go in there and I could do that for the rest of my life. If I win another medal in the Olympics, if I get to the Olympics, I'll still do that same job. It's, for me, money is not the be all and end all. Yeah, it helps to make you a little bit happy, but I mean, it can also make you very unhappy, because you have to remember, with a lot of money comes a lot of fake friends and a lot of yes men and a lot of yes women. And I wouldn't like to be in that position. Yeah, I'd like to have the money, but I wouldn't like to be in a position, because I would be that person who would be trying to keep my feet on the ground, and I'd be questioning everyone around me. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. Like, I don't let money dictate what I do. While it would be nice, it's not the be all and end all.
What is it? It's still St. Vincent's Psychiatric Hospital, is it? Yeah.
In Fairview, yeah.
In Fairview, yeah. What is it that gives you? What does that do for you at this stage in your life?
I suppose I've been there, I think now 11 years, and all those people in there on the ward that I work in, they've been there since I've been there, and they know me since before I've become Olympic champion, and they're very, very real. They're not bandwagoners, and they're not fake people. They're not telling you what they think you want them to say, you know, like. And I just love that, you know, and I love being grounded. I love feeling valued for the person that I am, not for the person that I've become.
Yeah. And I suppose
Jesus, that's pretty,
listen, this is profound. But look, there's such wisdom in what you're saying, because there is this aspect, I'm sure, like, why am I talking to you now? Why are we having this conversation? In part, Olympic champion, world champion, it's your exterior, I suppose, presentation to the world. And that's probably grown massively since the Olympic win. I'm sure that feeling of being public property, or certainly an aspect of yourself is public property. Has that been uncomfortable in any way, or too much in any way, or been pretty okay?
No, like, do you know what? I embrace it. Like, I love the fact that people feel comfortable enough to come up to me and talk to me. I love that. Like, I love talking to people, you know, and I love that fact. Like, and I love, do you know what I really love? Like, I love when I'm hearing the older people come up to me, like, who probably would never have watched a boxing match in their life, you know, like, and they're coming up and they're saying well done, and now they know everything about me. Like, they know about me getting married and everything, you know, like, and they're genuinely, like, happy, you know, and inspired, you know. And I think, because I'm not, like, I don't lose the run of myself. That's why I kind of engage with a lot of people, like, and why they get me, and like, I like it. Like,
Yeah.
I embrace that.
You do actually, and you know, putting out things like the wedding photo and the dogs, there is a degree of you letting people in. Certainly you're comfortable to a point and enjoy it to a point, it seems.
That's it. Like, look, people have ways of finding out everything, you know, so they do find out. So you may as well put out what you want to get out there, like, instead of them finding it out a different way, you know, like, so put it out your way, really, like, and be happy with it. As long as you're happy with it, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So will you pretty much keep working as you are in Vincents and keep training as you are? There'll be no, like, in the build up to the games, you won't deviate from that. That's your rhythm, that's your routine, and you'll maintain that as much as you can. And there won't be a camp anywhere or anything like that by the sounds of things.
I'll keep working there for, like, look, I'm never going to leave it unless they have to replace me because they don't have anyone to cover my job while I'm away. Like, you know, thankfully, they didn't need to, you know, but there is a lot of people leaving now, so they're not hiring, so there is there's all them complications. But I'll keep working there for as long as I can, and as long as I love it. You know, I can't see myself going anywhere, and there's room. Like, we're meant to be getting the new hospital as well, like, so I'd like to be there for the new one as well.
Is Corinthians still your boxing club?
No. That's
your childhood
old.
one.
That's old news.
Okay.
I've had nearly more clubs than I've had hot dinners.
Okay.
But I'm not like some people would be embarrassed about that, but I'm not embarrassed about it at all, because I know what I need to do to get what I need to get, you know. And where I am now, I'm out in St. Mary's in Tallaght with no work, and that's it. That's my last stop.
Okay. The only reason I ask is I saw a big headline a couple of weeks back, and your name was in the headline. It was Kellie Harrington's childhood club, so I wasn't sure if you had left. It was like her child.
Nowadays to get they'll use you for that. You know,
yeah. Kellie Harrington had coffee at this place, but it was Corinthians, and I guess it's probably not unique amongst boxing clubs, unfortunately, in this country, given the great tradition we have. It would kind of frustrate you, but it was showing how Corinthians was in disrepair. There were no showers, there were no separate toilets for girls and boys having their boxing classes, and there were photos, and it just looked terrible. And it seemed like such a pity when you were trying to foster sport and foster, you know, what you've done and what Katie Taylor's done, and now Lisa O'Rourke and Amy Broadhurst, that you know, geez, the sport could take off if facilities were better as well.
100%. But you hit the nail on the head there at the start. Like, it's not just that club; it's clubs across the board. You know, so like the club I'm in, Mary's now, it's a fantastic club, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done on it as well. You know, like, well, it's just getting the funding to do things. You know, it's really not easy. Like, but when you also think about it, like, how many boxing clubs have we got in Ireland? Like, we've a lot of boxing clubs. Like, so. And I'm sure every one of those clubs has something that needs to be done in it, you know. So it's just about where does that money come from and how do we get it, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, same for every club, isn't it? In so many sports. So just thinking about your life.
Boxing, though. It's mostly boxing.
Listen,
mostly the sports that are working class.
Well, totally. And like, we all piggyback come Olympic time, and we're all your best friend, and politicians are at the airport and smile for the photo. Thanks very much. I'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah. And does any part of you think at these high profile moments when politician is all over you, do you know what, actually, I'm going to publicly tell everyone what I think about how the sport has treated the other 3 years, 11 months of the cycle? Maybe it wouldn't be the most gracious thing. Mightn't be the most gracious thing to do either, I guess.
Before I come on with you, I was only actually having the crack. I was like, imagine I just turned around and said, I was like, why don't I tell them what I really think? Like, yeah. But no, do you know what? Look, it's always going to be what it is. You know, it's always going to be that way. They're always going to turn up. They'll turn up to the opening of an envelope. You know, I did. It was one time I got the Irish Times Awards. The Irish Times Sport Ireland Person of the Year 2018, and Shane Ross never turned up to me homecoming 2018. He didn't turn up to it, but he turned up to the Irish Times Sport Ireland Awards, and we were sitting there, and I was saying, like, I was giving out stink about him on the table that I was at, and I was on the table with a load of journalists, and I genuinely didn't think I was getting person of the year, you know, like, so I'm sitting there and I'm giving out, and then it's like, Kellie Harrington. I'm like, I had to nearly pick me jaw up off the floor, and I walks up and Shane Ross is there and he's all smiles, and I shook his hand, and like, he hadn't congratulated me or anything. He was the Minister for Sport at that stage. And I leaned in close to him and I just says, like, because he was there, and I says, suppose it's better late than never, what? And he just nearly died. Like, he was just like, and
just keep smiling, keep smiling.
And I just turned and I was smiling, and my coach Noel was there, and I was telling Noel what I was going to say, like, and Noel was in creases laughing. He was.
No harm. What an amazing couple of milestones in your life. So, Olympic champion, married last year. I think you bought a house the same month, give or take.
Yeah,
Always a big thing. This would, from the outside, this looks like it must be a very happy period in your life. Is that how you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a happy period. Yeah, absolutely. Like, but have a personal life as well. And there's a lot going on that obviously I don't want people to know. But like, it's been busy. It's been emotional. It's been crazy. Like, it's been like, it's just like constantly, you know, like, because at the end of the day, I am a person, and like, outside of the Olympic medals, you know, like, I want to have some kind of a life as well. But it's been absolutely incredible. Like, the amount of stuff I've done in the last year, I probably, like, some people probably do over 10 years, like, you know.
Well, I genuinely, even including the GAA players, I suppose, who have big full lives outside of their sport, but for someone who's achieved at the absolute top level internationally, I can't think of a sports person in the country who has such a kind of rich, full life around achieving these great things. And I guess that's no accident. You've kind of spoken about the importance of being more than just box every day, think about boxing every day, and I'll worry about my life when I'm 35.
But that's the one thing, like with athletes coming up now behind me, and even like with me, like, I'm trying to drill a home, like, if you're getting any money, save it. Go to college, have a part-time job. And they're like, I can't have a part-time job. I'm training Monday to Friday. And I'm like, oh God, like, I can do it, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I've got to the top, like, so what's stopping you? They don't realize that, like, it humbles them, it keeps them grounded, like. And I suppose, I don't know, it's just been drilled into me, you know, from an early age. Like, I've seen my dad go out and work his bloody ass off, you know, so that's my makeup, my family makeup, you know, and my brothers are all the same, like. And I really, really strongly advise any athletes coming up, get a part-time job, like go to school, go to college, do what you got to do, but get a part-time job, get one, preferably that's not just about money, you know, like, that you're actually going to enjoy, like, something that is joyful to you and meaningful to you, you know, and keep it, like, you know. And that's what I feel anyways, and I'm always trying to drill it home, because at the end of the day, I come from a family that works. My dad works, but they didn't have money out like it was going out of fashion. Like, they wouldn't be saying, here's, get the latest winning headguard and gloves, Kelly, and get the latest boxing boots. And I would, you know, they wouldn't be that. Like, that's not where I come from, like, you know. But I do see a lot of people coming from that background where mommy and daddy is paying for everything outside of that, you know, outside of boxing, so they can go and live their little boxing life. But I'm trying to tell them, have your own thing, have your own little life, and have your own few bob coming in, so it makes you feel.
Just a last thought. You've two brothers, don't you? Three.
One very, very quiet one.
Is he the youngest?
No, Joel is the youngest.
Okay, because I just a memory as you're talking there and mentioning the family. He came on the show the morning of your win, and we thought it was going to be like a 5-minute, oh, I'm delighted, it's amazing, grand, we'll let you go. He must have like held the airwaves for about half an hour, and honestly, he was like a pundit breaking down your fight and what he thought you did well, and what he was amazing. We got so many texts in going, "Geez, that guy's bloody brilliant." And I read a few out, and he was like, "Give me a job then." Like he was a proper proper character. Would your family would they really know their boxing? Would they know their stuff, and you'd be able to talk to them on a level, or is this all new to them as well?
Yeah, they do know their stuff, like, they do know their stuff, but in all honesty, I wouldn't be like, I chat a bit
Yeah.
about boxing to them, but I wouldn't be going looking for tactics or anything off them.
Okay.
Although my dad is probably the best boxing coach in the world, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He's fantastic, but no, they like, they do know their stuff, but I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be going looking for tactics or anything
No,
off
fair
them.
enough, fair enough, fair enough. Because I remember the morning of your final, they had like this sign up on the door saying, "You're all more than welcome, but we just really want to watch the fight, so stay out for the next."
I only seen a photo of that, and I was like, "What's that sign on the door?" And I was like, "Is that like telling people don't knock?" But yeah,
Yeah.
no, amazing. Like, come here, it's been an incredible journey for
Mm.
the community. Like to get to
Oh,
see everyone around there knows me and knows what I've put in, and they've seen me going training and so on, so on. Like, and they've seen me with the kids around the area, and then to go off and do that, like, just incredible,
yeah,
one of their
yeah.
own, like.
No, it's amazing. And there was some big GAA match that day. I think it might have been Kilkenny Cork in the hurling, and a lot of the fans stopped by Portland Road just almost to get a picture at the house on the way to the match. So I mean, all
And
of
they're
that
still
stuff's kind
doing
of
that.
lovely. Is that
They're
right?
still they're still doing that. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, it's a destination point.
yeah.
Listen, this is a great thing you're promoting. So again, just to mention it because you've been so good for your time. So you and Ellen Keane, sports ambassadors for Dublin City Council, and it's to really just promote the different facilities and services and recreation programs that are available. So the website again is dublincity.ie/residential/sports and leisure. And if you can't remember that, just go to dublincity.ie, and I'm sure you'll find your way to the right spot. Kellie Harrington, great to talk to you. As always, real pleasure, and best of
Thanks
luck in the
very much.
Europeans. Thanks, Emil.
Thank you. Thanks a million. Chat soon.